What's up, everybody? It's your pal Malan D, aka Marvin Davis, aka Marlon Darvis, aka good old-fashioned Malan D. How the hell are you? It's Thursday, man. I got up at about I slept in kind of late today, but I got up and opened up my doors to walk onto my back patio, I guess you would call it. And right when I open the doors, a gigantic raven jumps from behind the wall and lands on the wall. And this gigantic black raven is probably this tall, this wide, huge. These birds are huge. He takes the bait. It was perfect timing. Right when I opened the doors, didn't scare him or anything. They're not afraid of me at all. But this greedy little guy, I put out maybe 6 pieces of apple last night. And this morning they were still there. I thought, oh, well, I guess they don't like apples. But then he jumped over the wall. And I saw him pick one piece of apple up and he ate it and swallowed it. Then he picked up another piece of apple, ate it and swallowed it. And that probably filled him up, right? So there were 4 more pieces of apple there. And he picked one up, held it in his beak. You know, his beak is probably this long. Huge bird, big bird. Beak might even be this long. Maybe 4 inches, I don't know, 5 inches. So he picks up an apple, holds it in his beak, looks around. Then he goes and he picks up another one and he has both of them in his beak. Then a third one and then the 4th one. He had them all lined up like a shish kebab, like a kebab in his mouth. And he looked around, like did a little dip, and then boom, took off. I was curious if he would be able to fly with all those apples in his mouth, but I've never seen a raven or a crow or any big black bird pick up that many things at once. I was kind of blown away, and it blew my mind. Fun thing to do first thing in the morning, you know? I woke up, laid in bed looking at Reddit and Instagram and stuff, but then got up and immediately interacted with the birds of the hills. I love it. How the hell are you? It's one of my favorite things about this new place is the wildlife outside. I've got lizards, I've got squirrels, and then a multitude of different types of birds. I almost want to like get my binoculars out and become a bird watcher because they're so cool. Little birds, as hummingbirds that are this big, and then the big black ravens and crows that fly around, and the big birds like terrorize everyone else. And the lizards hide from them. The squirrels hide from him. And the only downside of having these big ravens in the neighborhood is that the time before last that I got an Amazon Fresh delivery, by the time I got the bags off the porch, something had torn the bottom of the bag open, and I saw like a part of the plastic poking out, like that something had pulled it out, and there was about a foot of plastic bag hanging out. And I thought, that's weird. Maybe a raccoon or a coyote or something got it. Then I started inspecting my groceries, and everything seemed to be there. And then I looked to the right, and on the steps was a package, a sirloin steak. One of those animals out there was able to open the bag and pull out a steak and eat it completely out of a hole this big in the package, size of a quarter. And I thought it was a raccoon or a coyote or something, and was kind of laughing to myself. And then right then, this huge black raven landed in the yard and was looking at me. And I thought, oh, that's what it is. It's the ravens. They broke into my Amazon Fresh bag. And it made me realize that the little marks that I've seen on all of the packages that I've received since I've lived in this house, they always have holes poked in them. I thought they were shipping damage or maybe a squirrel or something, but it was the birds. The birds watch for deliveries, and they come down and they inspect them. I'm not kidding you. Like I ordered some Duraflame logs for my fireplace, and they pecked into the box, realized it wasn't food, and they left it alone. When the Amazon Fresh groceries came, they pecked I had 2 12-packs of LaCroix drinks. They opened up those, realized it wasn't food, and moved to the bigger bag. They pecked it open, must have smelled the meat in there, and they just started ripping it out of the bag. And they didn't take just one, they took 2 of my steaks out. I found the other package later in the spot where that big bird had landed. What he was actually doing was eating the rest of the second steak that he had stolen. So these guys are seriously smart and they're fascinating. I love them. It's become like my dream is to give them treats in my backyard and then have them bring me a treat. Because ravens and crows, if you give them food, snacks, shiny objects, pieces of string, if you start leaving that out for them, in some cases they'll take them, and then to return the favor, they'll actually bring you little trinkets as well. So you'll find, I've read stories where people find little rings or an earring that they lost 2 years ago. The ravens will bring it back to them, or the crows. They'll have little bells, little strings, and then sometimes they even bring dead animals, because to them, that's like feeding you. They'll bring a dead rat or a dead mouse or a dead bug, and they'll leave it wherever you leave their treats. So I'm trying to get into this weird bird exchange. Maybe that's what I'll call this video, the bird exchange. Oh man, how the hell are you? I just did a Periscope stream. I've been trying to get back on Periscope. I missed it. I think what happened there was I was using Periscope for a year or two, had a really great time with it, but then Snapchat came out. And you go, oh, I want to try that. And I got on Snapchat for like 6 months and decided I didn't like Snapchat at all. Still don't. I don't use it at all. But then I went to Instagram, and they kind of adopted a lot of Periscope and Snapchat features. So I just started using Instagram. So for the first time in about maybe even a year and a half, I turned on Periscope maybe 2 days ago and had a session with a bunch of people there, and we talked smack, just had some fun, listened to music, and then turned it on this morning again just to check in and give everyone kind of a greeting in the morning and just say what's up and let's make it happen. I don't want to be... I got the idea from Joey Diaz to use Periscope. He gets on every morning, and if you want to see the funniest thing and the most inspiring thing ever, look up Joey Coco Diaz on Periscope and watch a few of his morning joint sessions. It's called the Morning Joint. He gets on there and smokes pot, talks smack, gets everyone pumped up and tells jokes, and then he announces like his live dates. And I love it as a platform. He's built a gigantic audience using YouTube and Periscope only. And it's an amazing thing. So I started doing it myself years ago, and I missed it. But yeah, it's all kind of the same thing. You know, you got the YouTube channel, you've got your Instagram live stories, you've got your Snapchat now, you've got Periscope, you've got Twitter, you've got Facebook. It's almost too much to keep up with. But I do like it. And part of me wanted to call this channel this season The Broadcast, because to me that's what it is. It's kind of the broadcast of what's going on in my brain and in my life and in my mind, and I'm just broadcasting it out to people who I don't know personally. And it's really, it really started because I was talking to myself a lot when I was by myself, having conversations, talking about what's on my mind. Don't ask me why. It just helps me work problems out if I speak them out loud. I do it all the time. And I thought, man, I could start a YouTube channel just by turning on the camera while I have these conversations. And that's what started the whole thing. Maybe a year ago when I started doing just the sit down with the microphone sessions. You know, before I was trying to do Casey Neistat stuff and vlogging and filming my whole life and walking around with a camera. But when I finally figured it out that this was my format, you know, like a late night talk show, and I just say what I would usually be saying to myself, but I'll say it to you. And it turns out some of the things that I go through and that I work out and talk about have helped you guys. So it's a win-win. So yeah, I thought about calling it The Broadcast because, you know, Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, they're all like a broadcast of what's going on in your life, in our lives. Unfortunately, most people use they use these broadcast mechanisms, these apps, to share the worst information possible. Like, I can't even log into Facebook anymore because it went from being a cool way to keep up with your friends to just flat out racist, political, religious, the craziest stuff you're ever going to see all day. Everyone's fighting. Everyone either hates Trump or they love Trump. It's just gotten so sick. No one cares. Like, I want to delete all of my Facebook friends. I want to find a way to just turn it all off. Maybe you can use an ad blocker and just turn the whole feed off, because while I do love my friends, I don't care about your political opinion. I don't care what your sexual preferences are. I could care less what religion you're into. I just like you as a person. We're people. But it seems like right now, everything is, we're white people, we're black people, we're Latino people, we're lesbian people, we're gay people, we're transsexual people, we're transgender people, we're black, gay, transgender, Christian, Muslim, aristocrat, Republican, Scientologist. It's like, how many labels do you put on yourself? Why are all these labels there? You're just a person. I'm just a person. We're all kind of part of this big thing that's going on here that no one understands or has the answers for. We're all guessing. And I feel like the more boxes you put yourself inside of, the farther apart we all go. Like, we're all in so many categories. I'm a straight, white, male, whatever. How many? I heard someone say the other day, it was on the Rogan podcast, they said this problem's going to continue. This racist stuff, this religious stuff, this anti-gay stuff, it's all going to continue as long as people call themselves white people, gay people, black people, Indian people, gay, white, straight, hermaphrodite, transsexual people, whatever. And what we need is just people to be people. Like the color, your. It'd be like if I walked around and introduced myself as, hey, I'm Malan and I like to eat donuts sometimes, but I mostly like to eat meat and vegetables. But I also have a bicycle. It's like, who cares? What's your name? Malan? Okay. Cool to meet you, man. Yeah, so what are you doing? You know, that's it. I don't want to know where you stand. And I don't want to tell you where I stand, because that's where the division comes from. Some of my best friends, we probably disagree on almost everything, other than, you know, that we love each other, that we love the same type of music, that we all hope each other do well. But if you really start breaking down our beliefs, there's probably a way to divide us if you want to really do it. You know, whether it's a sports team that we don't agree on. That's another thing I heard them talking about on Rogan, was if best friends really did nothing but talk about the things that divide them, like the sports teams that they love and hate, like that can kill a friendship. Or if you really want to dig into your religious beliefs, that might kill your friendship. Or if you really want to know dig into each other's political beliefs, you can probably find something to separate the two of you and make you hate each other. But what's the point? At the end of the day, what was the song? People are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. Yeah, man. Tears for Fears? They had it figured out in the 80s, guys. Look that song up. People are people. And there's good people and there's bad people, and those, it has nothing to do with your political party, your gender, your sexual preferences. It has nothing to do with that. Because there's really no groups of people. Like, one of the funniest things to me as a straight white guy is when I hear people say all white people are racist. All straight white men are considered alt-right or whatever. I'm just like waving my hand going, hey friend, like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? And to put anyone, any category of like something as stupid as your skin color and judge the entire population of those people as one is idiotic. If you do it, you should stop, because your life will be much easier when you judge people based on their individual characters, right? There are There's so much division happening right now. It drives me crazy. I try not to get too stuck on it. But it's hard to avoid. You get online for 10 minutes and your whole day's screwed up. I talked to a friend of mine. She said that my sister, she said she reads the news in the morning just to know what's going on in the world. But by the time she goes to work, she's filled with anxiety. I said, yeah, stop reading the news, man. The news is not there to inform us. It's there to point out the rare things that happen that, when blown up, can turn into a civil war. You know what I mean? I heard someone that I follow on Twitter say that. His name is Naval. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Naval. And he said something like, the media's job is not to teach you about the world. What the media does is they take what's rare and they amplify it so that it seems like it's a bigger thing than it really is. And to me, that was a great way to put it. Because, yeah, there's terrible stuff going on. There's terrible stuff happening right now as you're watching this video. Someone's being robbed. Someone's stealing a car. Someone's breaking in a house. Someone's getting pickpocketed. Someone's getting beat up. It's all happening right now. But the majority of the people in the world aren't doing those things. The problem is when you turn on the news or the media or read the internet, they take these rare occasion things and they leave out all of the good things that are happening. So they'll take the robbery that happened last night and blow that up. But they won't even mention the fact that a little boy raised money for a dog shelter. They won't even mention that or whatever the good news is. I actually have been trying to turn my internet into a positivity machine. And I've been doing that in one way by using Reddit and Twitter or whatever you use to follow things, to follow people. I've been just programming mine to show me nothing but uplifting and positive things. And if I really want to dip into the retarded, crazy madness that's going on in the world, I can go pull up Fox News or CNN or Breitbart or some crazy website. And I can read all that crap. But that's my personal choice. My feeds are filled with uplifting, positive, at least smart things. And I try to avoid the low-level conversations that are based around just people's ideas. I don't care about any of that. I don't want to hear about what the news of the day is or who did this racist thing or who should be put in jail for what. I don't care. I can't take it anymore. The whole thing has jumped the shark. But I have my feed set up pretty well to keep things positive. And I try to do that here as well. So I'm glad that you've made me part of your little world online. And if you're getting anxiety from the news, stop reading it. That's what I told my sister. Just stop. Take a week off. You see how good you feel. You might feel really good. You might just like it, Batman. But it's Thursday. I'm just doing my thing, getting ready for the day. I've already been outside with my playlist. I did a Periscope stream. I'm shooting a YouTube video. It's 10:18. I'm going to do a walk around the neighborhood, get some energy going, a little cardio. I'm going to come back, eat something. Then at 3 p.m., we're doing the Mad Society live Mastermind. And then that's it. I think the rest of the day will be, well, that'll put me at 4 o'clock. So I'll probably be free to do whatever the hell I want to do at that point. And then that's it. I'll try to get a blog post possibly up today or probably more likely tomorrow because the morning's already gone and I'm best at that stuff in the mornings. I already know what I want to write about and I just need to put it down, put the headphones on and go for it. So that's my day. It's Thursday, June 28th, 10:20 in the morning, and I've been rambling on for 19 minutes, which isn't too bad. A lot of you guys tell me that you put these on play the whole playlist at night and just listen to it in the background, and that's cool. I hope that my voice is soothing, gives you at least something to listen to that's not horrific. I try not to dip into the negative subjects much, but sometimes it happens. You know, no one's perfect. And yeah, that's all. I'm almost out of coffee and we're almost out of time. So that's it. Coffee cheers on the way out. Padow. Everybody have a great day. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're up to. If you like this kind of stuff, if you're digging the broadcast and the stories I tell and the things that I post on here, give me a like or subscribe or whatever. And if you hate the stuff, that's cool too. Go find something else. You guys have a great day. And as always, we're going to end this how we always do. 3, 2, 1. I will see you in the future.